Peace, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing well. Yeah. I kind of figured that it was time to talk about a few things in more detail and just, make some videos on the subject because I truly believe that my understanding slash overstanding it can be beneficial for somebody or my understand my way of thinking on a particular issue can be beneficial. Speak on, and I'm start with this one issue like now with the so-called the diaspora wars thing, meaning like stuff dealing with immigrants being deported, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna speak on the Caribbean, relationship between indigenous Americans and Caribbeans and so-called Latinos, which they're Caribbean too, but you know what I'm saying. And really just to really touch on some certain things because realizing the truth and understanding our past is a deep thing, and it has a lot of layers. Like, once people are still not aware of just basics of things. People are still calling themselves black. People are still thinking that they descend from slaves that was brought from Africa over to here. All of that different stuff. Now, first thing, there's no such thing as black people. Second thing, a lot of us descend from people who were in bad situations, but not all of us. Like, let's say it's like less than half of the people who were under so-called slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because and most of us who were even in that situation were prisoners of war, not people who were captured from the other continent, so-called Africa, and brought here. No, these are people who were. You got to know the truthful history. People that were captured in the Bahamas, captured in Puerto Rico or Jamaica or Cuba, and then brought to here, which is called the United States. And people from here, people who were captured in, let's say, New York, Pennsylvania, Florida, the Carolinas, Texas, whatever, and you were taken. Indigenous people was taken from there to the Caribbean. Okay, you get it? So people were prisoners of wars and taken here, places here, but ain't nobody come from Africa. They was enslaving the people that was already here. If you don't understand, and then you got other layers. You got layers of people. We got layers of Iberian Moors who were coming from Europe. They were prisoners of war. They were some of them were labeled criminals and stuff like that. The Jacobites. When you get into the learning about these histories from these European battles in Europe. I'm not really Europe because the Europeans are distinct from other groups. These people came from Europe and were brought into the Americas. So when you think of talking about Irish, French, Scott people, the first ones coming from Europe in those times, like the original colonizers, were melanated with dark-skinned people. It's just period. You know what I mean? But if you don't know, you just don't know. You're gonna stay on foolish time. 432 to drop. I say the Duke of Tears. Carameo, How. These are just three sources that a lot of, let's say, I'm gonna say younger people and up to like new old people, like people my age in your early 50s, is going to be able to understand the language of these three sources of information very easily because these are, you know what I mean? You'll be able to understand, and they're going to give it to you. And these are three learned sources that done put a lot of years in. Let me get back to talking what I'm talking about. But you can't maybe fall back on your opinion about certain things. Because the ignorant people are coming out saying all these foolish things. And in real time, people ain't tripping in real time. Because I live in the real world. And ain't nobody tripping about no immigrants. Ain't nobody worrying about no immigrants. None of it. It's just not a part of our daily life. We too busy trying to survive. Too busy trying to survive and live through like what we truly been dealing with in our lives as indigenous Americans all our lives. So the thing we've been all that stuff people talking about with, that stuff, we've been dealing with that. We've been separated from our families. We've been being persecuted by law enforcement. We've been being our families being separated and torn apart from all that. We've been going through that. But what I'm just saying is, it truly is a divide and conquer thing. And then we don't remember ourselves. We don't remember that we got one mother. People always talking about the motherland, talking about Africa, the motherland. It's not the motherland for non-Africans. My motherland is America. Okay, so Jamaicans, Bahama, Trinidad people, the people that's like, claiming that America is the motherland. America is a continent. It's not a country. It's not, the United States this is of America. The United States of America. You get it? Brazil of America. Chile of America. Colombia of America. You get it? You understand? So what I'm saying is, this is a continent. It's not a one country. You know what I'm saying? Mexico is of America. Get it? Just to word it like that. The United States of America. And the more like, and what that which is called the United States is a in the old world. You're talking about multiple countries. You think it's just one back and you think 250 plus years ago this was just one? It was just one country? No, man, this was multiple countries, man. I mean, by the time you leave Pennsylvania and you get down to Virginia, you're in another country. You go to you leave in Pennsylvania, also you're in Maryland, you're in another country. Because I'm born and raised, here in Pennsylvania. But what I'm saying, even though my lineage comes from Florida and South Carolina. South Carolina is Florida. See what I'm saying? In the old world, you would never know that. La Florida, all of that. See what I'm saying? So, like, you got to know what you're talking about. And the people in the past didn't have these views and these beliefs about each other because they all knew that they children of the same mother. They children of the same mother, period. So, Arawaks and Tainos from that side, because these are like code words, but guess what? Arawaks and Tainos is the same thing. It's the same thing, man. So, like, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some thought, too. And to be able to sort through all of this stuff and come to the correct conclusions. The correct conclusions is that, we want good for each other. The good people want good. The good people want good for each other. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Especially, a lot of our stories is the same. Our stories is the same because we the same people. The same thing went on in Puerto Rico that went on in Jamaica. The same thing went on in Cuba that went on in Florida. The same thing that went on in New York is the same thing that went on in the Bahamas. Come on, man. That's what it is. So, like, what I'm saying, see, I can speak, now I'm going to speak, get a little bit more in detail so I can make a point. And then I'm going to probably break this video up because this is a strong point. See, this one thing I learned from boxing, right? I didn't know how racist people was until, like, boxing is very racist. I ain't on that race stuff. But what I'm just saying is, you got stuff going on inside of the communities and people who come from other places. It's the same as here, right? But what I'm saying is, I don't really even care about all that. You could think whatever you want to think about people, right? But what I'm saying is, what makes you corny is when you feed into the brainwashing. Let's say, like, see, it's not about white, but I'm gonna just use it so you understand that brainwashing stuff. Like, oh, these people is better than these people, or these people only thing they or, you know, so-called indigenous Americans, they don't like to work, or they lazy and all that kind of stuff. That's the brainwashing from the oppressor. The same people that put the stuff down on your island, it's the same people that put that in your mind. So when you come here and you ride with what they talking about. Ain't like you just riding and you saying like, man, I did what I had to do. I got over here and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. What, you stupid or something? You come over here and you think, and the reason why we can't get deported is because this is our home. If we could get deported, you see how fast they putting y'all out? And you think that, okay, these lazy, so-called lazy, useless people, taking up time, food, money, and air and everything, if you think they could do that to us, you don't think they would? Come on, man. Stop. They can't, because this is our home. So instead of you coming over here and knowing like, yo, they took the land from them people. They destroyed those people's families and livelihood and means of sustenance and held them back from getting education, didn't allow them to read. So that was another reason why these people forgot who they were. You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me you siding with the people that did that when you come over and you say stupid stuff? See, that's when I don't have no, that's when I lose, like, I'll be like, see? You see what happens? You know what I'm saying? I don't ride. I can't ride with you. You know what I'm saying? People who feed into that. It's the same thing like when I said I learned a lesson from boxing. See, you know how you're in boxing very racist, right? Okay. And then you see like the favoritism in the two sets of rules, you know, for one, for so-called American athletes, and you mean dark-skinned athletes, and then anybody other than that, they get passes, they get their careers back if they lose a fight, all that stuff, right? But see, when I see somebody trying to ride and get benefit from that race stuff, I don't respect you no more. I can't respect you. You know what I'm saying? I can't respect you because that's how I know you're really corny. Because you riding with something that's completely unjust. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just saying, it's the same thing. When you come over here talking that craziness, when you come, I don't care where you come from or what you look like. If you come over here and you talking that craziness and you're not respecting the people of this land, that's just like if I go to Haiti, if I go to Dominican Republic, okay, respectfully, the Dominican Republic is Haiti. Haiti is the Dominican. Come on, man. You see what I'm saying? Because I know. So I know I'm not going to ride with one side no, I'm going to ride with, come on, man. Because it's all the same. For real. You dig what I'm saying? And I know the truth, and I know the history of Haiti. And I know the history of Colombia. And he ain't just talking about that what you think is Colombia, and then I'm talking about Colombia. Because Colombia is a representation of something. The land is Colombia. That's why when you see the picture of the emblem of America, that picture of the emblem of America, that melanated woman in that picture is Colombia. You got to figure that out for yourself, right? One at a time, right? But that's Colombia. So really, all of the land is Colombia. You get it? But you don't know that because you don't know nothing about history and you can't put this. So you just riding off whatever these people was talking about. You understand what I'm saying? You just riding. You know what I'm saying? You just thinking, you know what I mean? Whatever. You just and talking. I ain't mad at nobody. You know, I struggle and fight every day too. You see what I'm saying? I struggle and fight every day too. And I wish and pray and want good and favor for all of the good people and the bad people too. Because if you get favor, if the bad so-called bad people get favor, man, they gonna turn good. You understand? It ain't none of us good, it ain't none of us bad. You feel what I'm saying? So we go back and forth in between the two things a lot of times, man. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, right is right, wrong is wrong. If I'm in another people's land, if I'm in just somewhere another part, I gotta respect the game. I gotta respect the people. If I go to Africa, not just Africa, the continent, because that's many, many different countries, okay? But if I go to Nigeria, I got to respect Nigeria and Nigeria's people. I got to respect Kenya and Kenya's people. I got to respect Africa, with that which is called Africa, because Africa is like my auntie, okay? America is my mother, but Africa is my mom's sister. So these people are my cousins. They my family. So when I'm gonna go into my auntie's house and disrespect her and her children, think about that. So when you come over here and you talking crazy, just think about it, that you lose the favor of the one true force, the one true God, whatever you believe or know it to be. You lose that favor. And all of these, you understand? I'm putting it in them terms to try to make people understand the right and the wrong of things. And I belong on this earth. I am of the earth, period. So no matter where I go, I'm gonna be cool, because I resonate with the land, and I resonate with the truth over everything. So we need to respect each other and do our best to help each other. And sometimes the best thing we could do is just remain silent on certain things. Cause trust me, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I ain't speaking out against nobody or none of that. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna speak in the spots where I should. Because if you had a lot of people, if they had it their way, they would eliminate somebody like me. But you ain't never gonna be able to do that. And you know what I mean, people been trying for years, like, to get rid of like just some element, meaning somebody who ain't scared to be on the truth is always gonna sprout out the ground. No matter what you do, you think put them in jail. And you know what happens? Go to jail and you learn something, and you read books, and you find yourself inside of the prison. And then you come out, and then guess what? you worse off to them than you was before they tried to put you in there. So guess what? You can't stop the truth, and you can't stop the people that's on that. You know what I mean? So the best thing, like I said, you know, I can go on and on and on, and I will go on and on. But let's get smart. Let's get smart. Let's stop talking about this dumb stuff. Worry about yourself. If you gotta move, and if you're moving inside, hey, everybody gotta figure out how to move inside this fake system. Like I said, the past had it right. The past had it right. Not just 251 years ago, because this country so-called is 250 years old, but I'm saying way before that, man. You know what I mean? It deteriorated. It was a deterioration down to 250 years ago. But I'm talking about the past. You know what I mean? Had it right. Let's start working on it, little by little. Peace.